This here is my 1992 Nissan 300ZX Twin Turbo. These here are my 2024 wheel cribs that I built last week. In this video we're going to see A, whether they work, and B, whether they're safe. Looks like we're taking the bumper off. So plan here is not take the bumper off, is jack it up on the chassis legs, get it on the first height of the wheel crib, both sides, and then I should be able to access underneath at the front without taking the bumper off to get under the subframe. That's a stone stuck under my wheel. So, first wheel crib, this is in two parts, there's another part goes on, but the bottom part under this wheel, supporting it under its own weight. Going to move the jack round the other side, do the same, so both front wheels are on the first part of the wheel crib system. Then we're going to get the back on, and then we'll come around the front and lift the front up to the next level, and then go around the back and put the back up to the next level. A couple of changes of plan. First of all, the weather's changed its plan. Secondly, now that we got that wheel off the ground, it's allowed me to go back to plan A, which was to go under the front subframe, because I can get under the bumper now. So we're now jacking on the front subframe, not the rad support, because when you do that your bonnet don't fit afterwards. So yeah, we're on the front subframe, which will now lift the front of the car evenly. And for additional safety, we've used a big piece of wood to chop the back wheels on both sides, and also the handbrake is on. So jack's out, car on the front now is sitting on the first part of the wheel cribs. Yeah, you'll see you have to go backwards and forwards a bit, because when you jack the car it doesn't quite jack straight because the ground's on the gradient. So when it comes down it doesn't quite land where you think it's going to land, so shift them about a bit so they sit in the middle. And same on this side. So what I've got here is these second layers which will go on top of the first bit, so I jack the car up a little bit more once it's got the back on. However, when you jack the car up, the wheels do sag down, so whether the jack could actually jack up high enough to get over that, to get that second bit on, I don't know yet. It's raining, I'm getting water in my eyes and I'm getting soaked. So we're going to get it on the back, then jack it up and see whether it will go high enough. If not, I might have to put something underneath the jack or a bit of wood on the jacking pad thing to get it a bit higher. Or it might be alright at this height to get underneath, we'll see. So the original plan was to go round the back and jack underneath the diff evenly. However, because the car's like that, I can't see where I'm putting the jack. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to jack under here, because under here is the mounting point for the subframe. So if it holds the subframe and holds the car, you jack it up here, get one under here, then hopefully I might be able to see where I'm putting the jack round the back. If not, I'm going to round the other side, do the same on the other side, and then I should be able to see it. That's heavy. Bit of a problem when I jack the back end up, because the jack slides when jacking. It's decided to pull the car this way, which means that the wheel crib, for the wheel crib to be fully under the wheel, is going to sit half on the gravel, half on the drive, and the gravel's kind of lower than the drive. I don't want that to do that, so I think temporarily I'm going to put that on there. Hopefully we'll get around the back now and get underneath the diff and hopefully jack it in a way that it pulls the car back over. Otherwise we're going to take the whole thing down and start again. So now I've got the jacking underneath the diff, and I've put it at an angle like this, so hopefully it's going to pull the car back in this way. So as I jack that, that's kind of pulling the jack that way. So I'm going to turn around and go that way, and hopefully it'll pull it over there. So that's the back end up. That's the car up on the wheel cribs on the first height. Will I put it on the second height? I'm going to see if I get under on this height, and then I'm going to see if I can get it up to the next height. But for now it's up on here. Yeah, the car went that way. I tried to drag it back over at the back, but it's not going over. This one here is not 100% on the hard standing, but this is solid ground, and I put that piece under there, and the weight of the wheel is mainly on that part, and the weight of the actual car is all the way over there, so it's not going to tip over there, it's going to pull it that way anyway. But I preferred it to have been on the concrete solid, but it's not going. And then as we jack the back up, the front's moved about a bit, but I could get back under the front subframe, I can jack that up, and I can pull those forward so that they sit in the middle of the wheel. And if we have a look round this side, this one seems to be in the right place anyway, and this one here, yeah, not too bad. The joys of a gravel driveway. So maxed out on the jack, and the second layer probably I could get that in there. This side not so much. So are wheel cribs safe? Well, they are safer than a jack stand underneath a jacking point. This here is what my old sill was. Yeah, you can see why I've got new ones. Steel, strong in that direction. Piece of 18 gauge steel here, which that was made of. Not so strong in that direction. That front chassis leg, not made of paper, but it's basically that shape made out of steel. So that could just quite easily flex around like that. However, first of all, that there is a wheel. That is what the car is supposed to sit on, so all the weight is loaded on the wheel and the other two wheels, so it's loaded where the car is supposed to load its weight, so it's where it's designed to be. And this here is 2x4 timbers. Compressive strength of timber is approximately 4,800 psi, which works out to about 370 kilograms per square centimetre. If you do the maths on a 2x4, to crush this bit of 2x4 here, you're going to need about 15 tons. That is not 15 tons. You do also have to take into account the failure of timber over a span. Well, the span here is literally from there to there. The weight's not even on that span, it's mainly just going down as a compressive weight. But even if it was on that span, it would be loading over the compression weight there, compression weight there, and just a little bit on the span weight there. That span there is what, 15 centimeters. You can go on the building control website and you can actually get span tables, so you can work out the load ratings for different sizes of timbers over different spans. But most building websites will advise that a timber spans over, say, 600 mil. That is a lot less than 600 mil. So that span is very, very little for that amount of timber. However, to be on the safe side, what I'm going to do is the ultimate test. I'm going to leave this overnight and see if it's still here in the morning. So next morning, car's still here, so that's all good. This, well, yeah, I'm going to need that extra 4 inches. But the jack max is out about 10-20 mil short of getting the extra bit on the top of there. However, we don't have problems, only solutions. So I went out and I got an expensive bit of wood. Yep, this is OSB because I was going to get ply, but an 8x4 sheet of ply is 80 quid, a 2x4 20 quid. This OSB 40 quid for an 8x4, so the 2x4 was a tenner. And look at that, bargain. So yeah, you probably guessed it, this one's quite straightforward. You put a beam there and a beam there, and then use the remainder to put a beam down the middle, and then I have a platform which will raise the jack up 2 inches plus 18 mil. So there you go, jack has a jack form, get it, platform, and it's now on there underneath the cross member. So hopefully we could jack it up high enough now so we can get the rest of the wheel cribs on. Well, there you go, what a difference 4 inches makes now to do the back. So there you go, we're now up on all 4 wheel cribs up to full height. And I'm leaving the jack in there because I believe that's safe, but I'm not 100% happy, but I just can't shift the car over.